Welcome to the first installment of Blade Runner Electric Dreams. This is an adventure that comes with the Blade Runner, the role-playing game starter set. Comes in the box. This will, I think, take 2 sessions. It may only take one, but I believe it will take two. To begin, we'll kind of learn the rules as we go, but if you are familiar with the Year Zero engine, it's the same idea as like Vaesen or Forbidden Lands, or more specifically Twilight 2000, where you roll a pool of dice and you're trying to get successes. The numerical value doesn't matter at all. It's just a little symbol. It'll look like an eye is a success. I'll just let each of you have a chance to do a dice roll just to see what it looks like. So if you pull up your character, you've got really four attributes: strength, intelligence, agility, and empathy. And then each one of those has 3 skills. And so if you are rolling, say, a hand-to-hand, you will take your strength die plus your hand-to-hand die. So maybe, Luke, if you want to roll like a hand-to-hand combat for Olson Baker, go ahead and click that. Click on that, and then it will ask you if there's advantage or disadvantage. Yeah, and you got 1 success, and so that's a pass. You succeeded. You can push that roll, even though you succeeded, to try and get more successes. If you get a dice that has a success, you can re-roll that, but you'll take whatever the second result is. If there's a little unicorn, origami unicorn symbol, that's a failure. It only counts if you push. So if on your first roll you had 1 success and a failure, that is still a success. But if you push it, you cannot re-roll it's a 1, the origami, and then you'll take the results of whatever your new roll is, but then you will take damage for every origami figure that you have, the little, the pony or the unicorn. And you'll take it if it's a strength roll or a agility roll, you will take damage to your health. If it's a mental roll, an intelligence, or an empathy roll, you'll take damage to your resolve. And your health and resolve are your pools of points. When they hit 0, you are broken, and you basically can do nothing until you recover. And there are ways to recover health and resolve, typically downtime, going and getting a bowl of noodles, going back to your apartment, just anything where you just decompress. You will recover 1 point of health and 1 point of resolve. And you can also use some of your special abilities. If you go to your on your character sheet to your inventory, you have a tombstone for your dead brother. There's also, under your bio, you're going to have a key memory and a key relationship. And you can recover more if you are interacting with those things. Like if you're interacting with your key memory or your key relationship, and sometimes that will come into play during your downtime specifically. Once per session, you can use your key memory on a skill roll. This will give you advantage on that roll. You just need to explain how that memory helps you in that particular situation. And so I will leave that up to you guys. If you want to take that advantage, just call on that key memory, and we'll use it for that. Again, most of this, just as we go, we'll sort of learn the rules. It's not hard at all. It's actually quite easy. The last thing I was going to say, that signature item. When you, once per game session, you can interact with that signature item to recover 1 point of resolve without the need for downtime. You cannot use it if you're already broken, though. So that's an option during the game. At any point, you can interact with that, but not if you're broken. So this, and again, we'll go over this as we get into the game. To start, let's just go over, I know, Luke, you mentioned you've not seen the movies. You have kind of a passing familiarity with the franchise, with the book by Philip K. Dick or the movie. I've got a little timeline for us, and let me pull that up. And I think you can all see that, but it starts in the 1980s. Humanity is trapped on a dying planet after industrial pollution, war, and human neglect deplete Earth's ecosystem. The UN becomes the only governing body as megacorps seize control of the few self-sustaining megacities with enough resources to support a mass populace. Humanity's only hope of escaping annihilation is off-world colonization. In the late 90s, the off-world immigration program begins with the Moon and Mars as the first colonies. Only the wealthiest and most desirable applicants are granted off-world visas, further tearing at human society as the only specials without the health, wealth, and education to qualify for immigration are left behind on Earth. In the 2000s, the Tyrell Corporation introduces the Nexus android, advanced humanoid automatons capable of all forms of menial labor. Dependable yet disposable, the replicant workforce soon becomes vital to rebuilding society and relocating human civilization among the stars. In the late 2000s, after an increasing number of replicants reportedly disobey or even abandon service details, the LAPD establishes the Rep Detect Unit, a specialized division trained to investigate cases and criminal accusations against replicants and apprehend any fugitive replicants. In the 2010s, indistinguishable to humans, the Nexus 6 becomes the cornerstone of interstellar commerce. The cream of society has mostly moved off-world, leaving Earth to second-class specials and replicants. In the late 2010s, after decades of exploitation, Nexus insurrections erupt across the system. Replicants are blamed for an attempted dirty bomb attack on LA, which turns Las Vegas into a nuclear wasteland. Though Tyrell's replicants are key to off-world industries, the UN now prohibits all Nexus on Earth. Special police units called Blade Runners are authorized to protect Earth borders and kill trespassing replicants on sight. Meanwhile, a Cold War erupts between human supremacists, stirring anti-Nexus prejudice, and human sympathizers defending replicant rights and smuggling N6s off-world. 2019. Society rejoices as the first worldwide data link-up is announced, promising to reunite the human race together again. Yet the decade ends on a deafening note when Eldon Tyrell is murdered by a Nexus 6, sending megacorps and the masses alike into hysteria. And 2019 is when the first Blade Runner movie takes place, and it describes the events of Eldon Tyrell's death. Early 2020s, the Tyrell Corp rush releases the Nexus 8 to stabilize the off-world market, but this fails to quell the controversy. In a last-ditch effort, Tyrell gives the UN their replicant database, revealing the identities and locations of every known Nexus on Earth. But riots break out after the list leaks, supremacists hunting down any Nexus on record and forcing the replicants to flee. 2022, the Blackout, becomes a historic turning point in society. The entire interstellar economy crashes overnight. As replicants become virtually untraceable after the data loss, the replicant underground is blamed. 2023, the UN declares the Replicant Prohibition Act. New retirement divisions drive the eradication of all replicants. The UN soon launches the Replicant Underground Task Force, expanding Rep Detect's jurisdiction to police any crimes involving humans violating prohibition and obstructing justice. The mid-2020s, the last remaining Nexus 6 models expire, and so does the Tyrell Corporation, declaring bankruptcy. Becoming the new tech titan in 2025, Wallace Corporation surges in power across the system after freely sharing its patents for a new synthetic protein, solving the food crisis on Earth and propelling off-world colonization. In the late 2020s, society on Earth begins to recover from the blackout, becoming a more analog, technophobic culture. Building upon memory engineering tech, the first prototypes for AI assistants are introduced into key industries, government agencies, and law enforcement. Meanwhile, Wallace Corp discreetly purchases the assets of the Tyrell Corporation in 2028, including all patents and proprietary research on replicant technology. 2030s, Wallace Corporation has now become a household name and the wealthiest corporation in the system. Among their many innovations, their privatized Wallace Datalink network has reconnected all facets of society and commerce, while digital assistants have become a booming industry and commonplace luxury in all walks of life. 2036, the UN Council repeals replicant prohibition after Neander Wallace unveils the Nexus 9, a revolutionized replicant design that is reportedly incapable of lying or harming humans of its own accord. As N9s go into mass production, the UN classifies these safe replicants as second-class citizens with limited rights. Any act of disobedience is grounds for immediate retirement. And 2037 is the present day. And for reference, the second Blade Runner movie takes place in 2049. So this is in between the events of the two movies. Basically, Nexus 9s are good. All the other Nexus models are bad. You are members of the Rep Detect unit tasked with solving crimes involving replicants and hunting them down, yet some of your number may even be replicants, the aforementioned Nexus 9s. When we begin, we're going to start with Olson. So, Olson, you are going to get a... I'll give you a handout. I think that just went to you, Luke. Is that correct?
Yeah, something did pop up. It's blank, but it
Oh.
says the name of the thing and handouts at the top.
Oh, let me fix that. It didn't do what it's supposed to do.
It's weird, yeah, because it's got the right name. It just doesn't. It's just blank on the actual image.
Well, let me just do it this way. It won't matter if everyone else sees it. Let me grab it. But you get a note on your KIA unit. Oh, there it is. It is. There it is. Taking a second here. Perfect. All right, I'll just show everybody here. I'll put it in the chat too. You get an order issued by Deputy Chief David Holden. Locate the veteran Blade Runner Willem Novak, currently on leave. Bring him in for emergency briefing. He tends to go off the grid when on leave, can often be found in the streets of Sector 5. Novak might object. No is not an acceptable answer.
Fun.
Yeah, what could go wrong? At the same time, Novak, you are reading the paper. Maybe sitting at your favorite noodle shop. I'll send this to chat as well. I'll give you just a moment to kind of look over this paper, Willem. And Los Angeles, May 2037. Toxic rain is pouring down over the city, where gigantic buildings dwarf ancient skyscrapers. Lights from huge billboards flash along the streets and wipe across the crowds of pedestrians in Sector 5, Little Tokyo District. The White Dragon Noodle Bar is crowded with customers, sitting on stools, slurping their food out of bowls. Veteran Blade Runner Willem Novak is among them, enjoying a few days of hard-earned rest and reading today's Independent Sentinel newspaper. Willem, what are you reading? What catches your eye in that paper? Are you there?
There we are.
There we are.
Likely, the first article would likely catch his attention the most about the UN's decision to repeal the prohibition of replicants.
What's your opinion on replicants?
Willem is rather distrustful. He had an unfortunate experience with them early on in his career, and doesn't trust them.
Anything else you notice there? Anything else that catches your eye as you're reading this paper?
No, I think that's all for now.
Okay. After a moment, a detective special spinner, the flying car of Blade Runner, descends to street level and sets down. Out steps Olson, with orders to bring Novak to the LAPD tower for an emergency briefing with RDU Deputy Chief Holden. Olson, tell me how things go as you walk up to Officer Novak.
Yeah, it sounds like the good officer Novak's got quite a reputation. So, Olson's going to immediately get all of the responsibility of this off of herself by just shrugging and we got orders. Deputy Chief's gonna want us back at the precinct. It's no, it's not an acceptable answer, I'm afraid.
Well, Willem is never one to say no when it comes to his job, so he would see to it that whatever needs to be taken care of is taken care of.
You get into the spinner, and as it begins to lift off, just a straight vertical takeoff, and then slowly begins to careen down through the skyscrapers. You're passing huge neon signs projecting different advertisements for various businesses. Much of the writing is in a mix of English and Chinese and Korean. Eventually you make it to the LAPD headquarters. In the office, ceiling fans are churning the smoke-filled room. The aging Holden, wheezing from synthetic lungs he got after being shot and nearly killed 18 years earlier, speaks to you. Also inside the room is Jack. Here is Holden. And he snuffs out a cigarette. "Sit down," he says with a rasping voice. "We have an urgent situation. Last night there was a shooting in Sector 1 in a sordid place called the Snake Pit on Nightclub Row. 2 Nexus 9 Blade Runners were there, serial numbers LH3-7.93 and SN9-1.48, codenames Leah and Sandor. Maybe you've seen them around. Anyway, Sandor was shot dead, and Leah is now missing. We have no idea where she is. Here's their data files." And he hands you data files for these two. Grab this. Okay, why is it not showing me the other one? Sorry, I'll grab this real quick. It's not wanting to dump these into the chat, but I'll get them there so you have a record of them. Perfect. They went to the Snake Pit to investigate suspected Nexus 8 activity, but we don't know if that's what triggered the shooting. According to local cops at the scene, witnesses said there were human supremacist jerks at the Snake Pit last night. Maybe that had something to do with it. We just don't know. I guess we'll all read about it, that sleazy tabloid Kill, tomorrow. Look, you need to figure this out, and fast. I have the brass breathing down my neck on this. As you know, the Nexus 9 replicants were approved for use on Earth just last year, and mistrust against the reps is running high. If someone out there is killing and kidnapping Nexus 9s, we need to find them and stop them. Fast. Add to that, the Wallace Corporation's pushing us hard on this. Their business depends on this new breed of replicants, and anything that jeopardizes that would be a major blow to their bottom line. They're letting us run this investigation, but have offered their assistance. Their PR manager, Quell, is expecting you at Wallace Corp headquarters to tell you more about Leah. Play nice with them. I mean it. Look, you can play this any way you like. Split up to cover more ground if you need to. I don't care, as long as I get results. And fast. You have the full resources of the Rep Detect unit at your disposal. Sandor's body is being processed down in the crime lab right now. Of course, you can check the LAPD mainframe for personnel files on Sandor and Leah, and any Esper footage of the snake pit last night. Maybe you'll get lucky. I have uploaded to your KIA all relevant information that we have so far. Now get out of here! And he waves his hand dismissively. Willem, what's your reaction?
Well, I suppose Willem is eager to get started on this job. This seems important. He's not too fond of the earlier models, but if it's what his job demands, he'll see to it.
There, I put the text of his speech there, just so you know kind of what we're supposed to do. You look over at Jack. Have you worked with Jack before? Jack Thompson.
No, I don't believe that we've met before.
This is Jack, right here. Jack, what do you know about Willem? Do you know anything about him?
So, Jack is normally a lone person. He, the picture you showed of him is not at all what he looks like today. He's wearing a very smart suit, very well pressed, like his policeman's uniform, very well pressed. Badge on full display at his hip, along with his police sidearm. He is wearing a bowler hat that hides his baldness. Gone is his trademark cigar. Basically, he's making himself look as little like himself as possible, because no one that he works with knows that he's on the force. When he gets called into the office, something has to have been very specifically wrong, because normally they would just send a missive, say, find out. So you guys may actually have worked with Jack in the past. You just didn't know it. He may have fed you some information. He may have fortuitously had someone drop by and volunteer information to you. But you certainly have never met him face to face. And when next you see him, you'll be hard pressed to recognize him.
Olson, what's your feeling on this this whole thing that's going down that Holden wants you to do?
Yeah, well, I don't know if Olson's got any experience with the old Nexus models, but she's actually quite an admirer of replicants. She's got a past. So, I think she's got quite the motive to figure this crime out and see, get to the root of the mystery.
Yeah, as a member of the Blade Runners, you would definitely, you might have an opinion of the older units, and that would be like, they gotta go. Your job is to terminate them whenever possible, but these new units are supposedly fail-safe. And so this could solve a lot of problems if these new units do indeed prove to be beneficial. And so you get where Holden's coming from. He says that the Wallace Corporation needs needs to spin this in the right way. It can't seem like
Right.
there's people out there taking out these, these good replicants.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely want to find out what's going on there to help them out. You've got a couple leads of places you could go and investigate. One thing, how this game works, there's a timeline, and this adventure is time sensitive. So there are right now it's the morning shift of day one. Shifts are 6-8 hour blocks of time. There are 4 shifts in a day. You can investigate for 3 shifts, and then you have to take downtime. Actually, you have to rest. If you don't, you will take damage, and then you'll still have to rest. You can push through, but taking damage. You are welcome to split up. You will all be able to communicate with your KIA units to be able to hear what the other people are hearing. With those KIA units, you can choose if you want to turn it off so they don't hear, or if you don't want to upload information to the police. Maybe you think that maybe not everyone needs to know everything. You have that option, that choice. But there are events that will be triggered by time. Maybe shift 3 of day 1, something will happen. And if you haven't done something by then, it may be something negative. So there's definitely a time crunch. I'm not going to tell you how long you have, but there is limited time to solve this. And it sounds like Holden wants this solved quickly. Now, quickly to the police, who knows if that's a day, 2 days, a week, who knows. But this definitely needs to get taken care of. So you have a few leads. He mentions that Quell, the PR manager of the Wallace Corp, is expecting someone there soon to tell you about Leah, who is missing. You could go check out Sandor in the morgue. You could go to the snake pit where this shooting happened. You could go to investigate, some of the footage there in the police department. Go hit the ground. Whatever you need to do. What would Jack do? Where would he want to go? To the snake pit?
Yeah, he's not the type of person you want to send to the Terrell Corporation.
No.
He's certainly not the type of person you want to send to sit in front of a computer. But I mean, he's a city speaker. Going to the snake pit, finding out what happened, talking to his connections there, will allow him to get a better, clearer version of what happened.
And so the snake pit, that's the scene of the crime. That's kind of a big deal. If you guys want to go together there, you can. But if you think that Jack's got this in hand, I'll leave it up to Willem and Olsen to decide, hey, do I trust this guy to get all the details, or do I need to be on the ground at the same time? So
well, no, I don't. I definitely don't want to eliminate anyone from like one of the key places.
yeah.
So
You might be a little standoffish if some others come with you.
Yeah. What if we? So, I can go check out the morgue. I guess that might be something I can do on my own, and then we can all meet at the snake pit later. But that way they can do what they're good at, and I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk to the coroner. That's fine.
And so every place... Oh, sorry. Let me just say this real quickly. Every place you go to will take basically 1 shift of time. So to go to the morgue, that will be 1 shift. That will take your morning of day 1. If someone else, does something else, that will take a full shift. And then, on like the 3rd shift, maybe you all meet up at the snake pit, or the 2nd shift. So whatever you want to do, that action will take 1/4 of your day. No matter if it's, hey, I go talk to this guy. It'll take you roughly 6 hours. Sorry, Willem, what were you saying?
Well, if Jack wanted to go to the snake pit, I trust him to handle that. I wouldn't mind analyzing some of the footage from last night.
Olsen, what do you think?
Olsen is kind of keen to go with somebody because she's kind of just good at backing people up. She is not the one you want asking questions.
Well, do you want to go with Jack to the snake pit here in the morning? I mean, that's the crime scene. Probably the sooner you get there, the better. While Willem is checking out footage, and then maybe he meets you guys up later somewhere else. Or I don't want to tell you guys where to go, but so Jack, you mentioned the snake pit, but you said you could do something else. What does Jack want to do?
I think that um, I think that Jack would be most at home at the snake pit.
Okay.
It's kind of a dive bar type thing, I guess.
Absolutely. It's kind of like a strip club bar sort of place.
Yeah,
Olsen.
that's where he would.
Are you going to go with Jack?
Yeah, if Jack doesn't object, I think Olsen would be happy to just kind of surreptitiously just, watch over him from some, I don't know, from the back. She won't step on his toes, is what I'm saying.
And Willem, are you going to go check out footage?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the snake pit first. Now, Willem, you'll still be privy to everything that goes on here at the snake pit. Let me pull up a map here.
All right. Look, just so you know, I've spent years around the people and the streets. I know I have connections. I know people, and no one and nothing is going to blow my cover. So if you get into trouble, you better get yourself out of it.
Fair is fair. I reckon I can get that done pretty well. Hopefully that's not necessary, of course.
Let me
Yeah.
set the scene for you here. I'm going to put Willem on the screen just so he has visual here as well, but he is off-site.
Stay within line of sight, but don't make eye contact.
Noted. Just kind of like hang out at the bar or something. I don't know.
It takes you a little bit of time to navigate over to the snake pit. You see that glow of the neon signs as you get close. This variety club is infamous for its strong drinks, 5-star entertainment, and its sordid history. Back in 2019, one of their performers was retired on the street, later revealed as a fugitive Nexus 6. One of the conspirators behind the 2019 Tyrell Corporation murder spree. This was put down by Detective Deckard. The owner of the snake pit, he spun that infamy into publicity, and his club just took off. They still attract the best stage performers around, mostly because a lot of the audience works at nearby agencies. Now, when you arrive, there's a police line outside and a small crowd of gawkers. All these people are looking at the front of the snake pit, wondering, what happened in there. All they've heard is stories. And Jack, give me an observation roll. So on your character sheet, you will click the observation skill, and it'll be a straight roll, no advantage or disadvantage. That is a success. One of the first things that catches your eyes, just like someone standing out in a crowd, essentially, is this tall, bald-headed figure, and they're kind of looking around, a little more than just gawking. Like they're looking for the police presence. In fact, when they see you, this figure comes up to you and, oh, officers, so glad you came. I'd like to offer my assistance. I saw the whole thing.
No. One, we're together. Like, Olsen, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, you can call her Backer if that's easier. That's her last name.
Olsen and I are not in the same place, and I do not look like a police officer.
Oh, perfect. Then it would go up to Olsen, I would suppose. Yeah. So runs up. Officer, I can help. I saw everything.
A good Samaritan. Well, we rely on them. I'm happy to hear your testifying.
Well, I was at the club. I was a guest. There was a brawl. There was some, the replicant haters. They started jeering at Iris. She's one of the dancers up on stage. She's one of them skin jobs. And I know that there was a guy there. I've seen him before. I think he's the guy that runs that tabloid magazine, Kill Magazine. I saw him in the crowd, and there was just stuff going on. People started throwing things at poor Iris, and two of your officers, a man and a woman, they tried to intervene, and I don't know for sure what happened, but man, I saw that guy just laying on the ground, and all hell broke loose.
Well, these things can happen and very quickly. You're not sure what happened. You didn't hear anything. I mean, I understand it was very loud, but no specifics.
I didn't see who did the shooting. I heard this loud gun go off, and then that guy was on the ground. But I'm pretty sure it's Skylar. That's his name. The guy that publishes that magazine. You know, it's inflammatory. I think he's one of them replicant haters. I think he's part of that that human supremacist group. I'm pretty sure he's one of them.
Yes, I've written his name here. That's very helpful. Thank you. I'm sure we will speak with him. If you don't mind a question, you said that there was a dancer that was being harassed. Are they?
Yeah,
What's
Iris.
Yeah, how's she doing?
I think she's good. As far as I know, she's still in at work. Let me just post Jill Schuyler's name. So you got a name.
Oh, I spelled it wrong, of course. I should have known.
It's kind of a tough one. And then Iris was the dancer. I think she's still in there. She wasn't hurt. She's still okay. But yeah, that was the guy. I'm telling you.
Well, that's actually very helpful, citizen. Thank you.
Yes, happy to help if there's anything else I can do. You know, I don't like seeing this go down in my city.
What a generous soul. Okay, I suppose I would ask him for his information. I don't know. We may want to speak to him again.
Yeah.
Some kind of.
Give me an insight roll as he starts giving you info.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is why I said she is not the speaking people person.
Do you want to push that roll?
For now, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Why risk it?
He gives you the name. The name is Styles. He tells you that he lives in this area near the snake pit and works near here. Gives you a number and an address where you can reach him.
Well, thank you very much. I will proceed with the investigation. If you can think of anything, here's my information, of course, and
You
I think
probably
that's about it for him.
give him a card, and he takes it and looks at it. Thank you. I'll be in touch. I'm going to ask around, see if I can get some more information. I want to see this place be safe for everybody. Do you go inside the snake pit?
Yeah. Not with, hopefully kind of just like, she clearly has no idea where her friend is, I think she's just kind of hoping he heard all of that and has a rough idea.
If you had your KIA unit on, or you could have recorded that
that's
conversation, or he could
True,
have absolutely been privy to that. So
Nice, yeah. Perfect, then yeah, she'll head on in.
when you go inside the snake pit, here's a crime scene photo. Yes, go ahead.
Jack is going to work the crowd. Man, my one night off this week, and I can't even get into the snake pit on time. What the hell? He's just gonna, he's gonna try to, look to see other stories, other accounts of what happened. Jack's KIA is basically a microphone pen that he like PEN that he has in his shirt pocket underneath his vest. He does not pull it out and take notes or anything, just allowing everything to get recorded and transcribed. If he feels like he's about to hear something that he doesn't want the KIA to pick up, he will put his hand in his vest pocket and pat it, checking to see if he's got another cigar, and that will turn it off.
Nice. Give me an observation roll as you start kind of working the crowd.
Sure.
Excellent. You talk to quite a few people, and most of them have no firsthand knowledge of what went on. They're gawkers. You know, they heard something went down. They basically come here to watch the investigation, see if they can see a body, that kind of thing. A few of the people give you some secondhand information and tell you that they heard that some people had taken off down some of the back alleys, and they think that's maybe how the shooter got away. Give me an insight roll to see if you buy into that at all.
Sure. I'm also going to, while Iris is accosting the obvious police officer, I'm also going to be going, some people. Roll.
Do you want to push that?
I am going to push that, yes.
And you can roll both the die or just one of the die, and it's up to you. And if you get any of the little unicorns, that will be a point of resolve you will lose. Oh, so you will lose 1 point of resolve, and you will gain a success. I don't know if it automated. It looks like it did, or maybe you took it off yourself.
No, it did. It took it off.
That point of resolve, you're getting sick of listening to stories that you know are just a waste of time. And you know that headache that you always get that kind of starts at the base of your skull and ends up just behind your eye. It's already starting, and it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, but you can feel that, you know, just that ice pick right behind your eye, and maybe maybe you pat your pocket looking for some aspirin or something, and it's just not there. Just, you know, it's going to be one of those days. But you do hear the same story from enough people that you think maybe there is some truth to it. That maybe the shooter did leave out the alleyway. Maybe that's something to look into. When
All right,
you
good.
Yeah,
when
you head.
And I'm gonna
go ahead.
basically say, if they're not stopping us, I'm gonna go and get a drink.
Perfect. Now you've got the crime scene photo. These photos are purposeful in that there is information in the photo. Some of it's in plain sight, some of it's hidden, and you can say, "Hey, I want to investigate that thing over there, or this or that." There are clues in the photos. So, as good police officers, I'm sure you'll do your best. So, Olsenbacher is the first one in the scene. You step in and you see that it looks like there has been some serious disarray in here. You see, first thing is the blood on the floor, and stools knocked over, glasses are still out from the night before. It's pretty rough. There are some uniformed officers here that are just maintaining the scene, not letting anyone walk through anything, touch anything. When they see you, they visibly relax, knowing that they don't need to do this anymore. That you've got this taken care of. When you head in, you are meted by a bald man, and he introduces himself as Taffy Lewis, and he's the proprietor of the club. And he says, "Oh, thank you so much for coming. They won't let me open my bar yet. Can you just hurry and get whatever you take your pictures, whatever you need to do. I got to get this open. I got people coming. Just work quickly, and then pardon my French, buzz off so I can get going here. Do your job, officer, please." Olson, how do you respond to that?
Well, that was she's not a people person. Yeah, that was quite rude, but she'll do her best. Well, she, part of my job would be getting answers. Would you be willing to answer some questions? Do you have anything you specifically wish to add?
Yeah, whatever gets us out of here faster. Give me a manipulation roll.
Yeah.
You got a success. Yeah, there was a couple of your types in here. They smelled like cops. They stayed at the bar, just observing, not talking to anyone until the brawl broke out. And things got rowdy. It happens. There was some of them human supremacists. They were jeering at one of my dancers, Iris. She's a skin job. And one of them guys was Skylar, publisher of that magazine. When the brawl broke out, some pale, tall guy confronted Styles, and I've seen him. Or sorry, confronted Skylar. I've seen that guy here before. People call him Styles, but I don't know anything about him. And then things got a little chaotic. A loud banging shot rings out. When the smoke clears, that officer, he's laying bleeding on the floor. Panic ensues. People run to the doors, and then I call the police. I don't know who pulled the trigger. Look, I really don't care. I just, I got to mop this up and open the club. So as quick as you can get out of here would be great.
Hey, Taffy. Whiskey.
Hey,
Neat.
I've seen you in here before. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here all the time.
Give me
No flatfoot's going to keep me out. As far as I'm concerned, you're open.
Give me a manipulation roll with advantage. So that will duplicate your lowest dice when you have advantage.
I also want to look at the shattered mirror to see what's there, but manipulation. Whoops. With advantage.
Oh, so that's it. So 2 successes. That's a critical success. Yeah, give his regular, and then he looks and there's no bartender there. Ah, shit. And then he goes over and starts to pour your whiskey. While he's pouring, you go over and look at that mirror, and you see that there's a huge crack. It's shattered. Looking right in the center, you see there is a deformed bullet stuck in the wall behind it. And you can pop that out pretty easy. Maybe you got a blade or something hard. You just give it a little wiggle and it pops out into your hand. It's a big slug. You're pretty sure this is the same kind that are used in the blasters that the Rep Detect unit uses, but you're not sure. You could take it back to the crime lab and they could analyze that for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll pick up one of the pieces of glass. Man, they really did a number on this. You know how hard it is to find mirrors in the city anymore?
That thing's been around for a long time.
I'll kind of, use it to look at myself in reflection. And while he's not paying attention, I'll use the shard of glass to pop the bullet out, put it in, in like a baggy type thing that. It's not like an evidence bag. It's more like a really, really small Crown Royal bag that he has.
Because they had your sandwich in it from yesterday.
Yeah. that he's gonna get that because he knows that at this point, we're not worried too much about, we just need to know the caliber and the striations of the bullet or whatever. And then he's gonna sit down at the bar, and he's gonna try to distract the guy, ask about things like how often Iris works. I was hoping she'd be in here tonight. It's my only day off, and then while he's sitting at the bar, I want to check out the candelabra, and then I'll let Luke check out whatever he wants to check out.
So you sit down. He hands you the whiskey, and kind of as you're chatting, he's like, "Ah, Iris, she's already here. She didn't dare go home. She was kind of rattled, so she slept here last night. I can go wake her up here if you like." You look at the candelabra, and it looks as though this is very old. It's been here for quite some time. Probably an antique, which means it was probably made in the 1980s or so. But it looks very nice, very old. It's not like a 3D print. This is actually cast, and would command a pretty penny. Backer, what are you doing while Jack is doing this?
Good question. So far all she's really done is ask questions. I guess she'd try to analyze the. I don't know. She's not like a Dexter with her blood splatter analysis, really.
Well, you could. I mean, you could take a sample. The pool of blood on the floor is semi-dried. It's still a little bit tacky. If you maybe step your boot into a little blood splatter, you could take a sample with that and maybe confirm it at the crime lab, just to find out exactly whose blood that is.
And it sounds like we've got a couple reasons to go to the lab, so there's no reason why not to get this along the way.
Yeah, let me go talk to Iris while the cops, take their pictures and whatnot. That'll get him out of the bar, hopefully.
Yeah. In fact, Taffy would take you back down where the dressing rooms are, and he knocks, and after a few minutes, this Nexus 9 Iris, she pokes her head out, and she's still wearing last night's makeup. She is dressed in a robe, and she is smoking intensely. You can tell that she is scared. And she confirms Taffy's story about the crowd and the brawl. She's absolutely rattled. Do you have any specific questions for her?
Man, I've been coming here on my night off for months. One of the few places you can get a good drink and see some nice tits. But now we got this. Those anti-replicant
The supremacists, the human supremacists, she says.
the human supremacists have never had this kind of gall. This place is neutral. I can't believe they'd do something like that. Did you see who started it?
I'm pretty sure it was that Skylar, that guy from the magazine. I don't know for sure. I was busy dancing, and then all of a sudden a bottle gets thrown at me, and it hit me here in the shoulder, and I covered my face. This is where I make my money, and I kind of crouched down, and more bottles, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, and I hear chairs being thrown around, and people shouting and breaking glass, and then there's this really, really loud pop. I didn't know what it was, but it sounded like a cannon. And then everybody ran for the door, and then I saw that guy on the floor, just swimming in blood.
Yeah, figures. Can't find a story, you make one.
Ooh.
Well,
give me an insight roll.
I don't know that I was saying she made a story.
Well, but still, as you're talking about maybe his motivations for starting the brawl. Do you want to push that?
Yeah, we might as well. Let's go for it.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, she kind of looks at you, and you see like the penny has dropped, and you see her like she's made the connection. Oh, what an asshole, she says. Oh, and then you just see her kind of trembling and shaking. And do you think Taffy's gonna fire me for starting this trouble at the club?
No, you didn't start it. Taffy knows better than that. But I think Taffy knows that people like that, if they can't behave themselves, don't need they can go somewhere else. And then I will I will tell her to I will tell her that there are some there's some police outside watching the building like it's gonna fucking do something. Uh, once you have one of them make themselves useful and walk you back to your place so you get there safely.
I will. Is that lady officer all right? The one from last night?
Oh, people haven't told me. People haven't told me much. There was a fight. There was the human supremacists, and then the bar's not open. That's about all I've managed to get out of it so far.
I I've seen her here a few times before, and she seems like good people. I'm kind of worried about her. I know.
Yeah.
I've,
You ever catch her name?
uh, Leah, I think. I know she's friends with Styles. At least I think they're friends. I've seen him talking to him before.
Well, well. Did you say she's a cop?
Leah? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Leah and
What?
Sandor. They're some of you guys.
So what?
Yeah, they're part
I,
of the
I
part of the Rep Detect unit.
yeah, I am not. Uh, I've not identified myself as a police officer.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. They're cops. You know 'em
He's
when you see them.
yeah, he's playing dumb. He does not. He does not.
Did not show
Uh,
a badge. Nothing of the sort.
no.
Okay. Sorry, I
The,
missed
the
that. I should have picked up on that. I'm sorry.
the only way that he would show a badge is if he is dying.
And and she would know you from being a patron of the Snake Pit,
Yeah,
so she would have no reason to think you were police. But
yeah.
yeah,
No, it is it. Yeah, I mean he literally spends his life on like his wife doesn't know he's a police officer.
nice. Yeah,
But
she
yeah,
she does mention that they were cops, and she's seen Leah in here before at least.
uh, you know, I guess even cops need to get you need to relax sometime. But uh, weird that they happen to be here and that her friend's the one that causes kind of commotion. Like I said one of them outside will probably take you home. They're not going to do anything else important,
Yeah,
and
I'll go find one of them.
then he'll go ahead and um, he'll go ahead and as she's walking out, he'll say into his Kia um, uh, alleyway in the back, 2 minutes.
Nice. So then, Olson, you would have heard that. She walks out and speaks to Taffy for a minute. You hear her say she's going to go home, and he just nods his head and lets her pass. Let's jump to Willem real quick. He is looking at footage. You go to the towering LAPD headquarters, which houses the LAPD mainframe and the Esper wall, this huge device that captures video footage from all over the city. To use these, you'll need to make a tech roll for each piece of intel. Because you're here, you get advantage on that because you're spending a shift on site. You can access these things from your handheld device, but you don't get advantage to it. So you'll have an advantage to be able to do things here with a tech roll as you access the data here. Let me have Willem give me that tech roll. So you got a success, so you don't need to push it, and you won't suffer anything because you did succeed. Are you checking the footage of the snake pit?
I would think so, yeah.
It takes you some time. I mean, you're going through footage. People are coming and going, but pretty quick you pick up some footage of people leaving down an alleyway, and they seem to be in a hurry. And you can see kind of in the upper right corner there's an orange metro cab. These things are ubiquitous in the city. This is what people use to get around, and you can see that it looks like Officer Leah gets into the metro cab. You can try to post process this image. It's another tech roll to kind of zoom in, enhance the whole. Harrison Ford goes through a whole sequence where he's using the machine to extract more data. That would be a tech roll to try and enhance and maybe even get the ID number of the metro cab.
Is this also with advantage?
It is. Excellent. So you get the ID. And you see her getting into the cab, a close-up image of this, and you're like, aha, got you. You can see her there and know that maybe there was a suspicion of what may have happened to her. Was she taken as a hostage? No, she got out and got into a cab and left. Now, give me a connections roll to see if you know where the Metro Cab dispatch is located, and you can have advantage because you're here. You can, basically Google it. Oh yeah, critical success. So you know right where the Metro Cab dispatch is. You could easily go visit there and find out information on this cab. You also search around. It's called Anemoid Road, which is kind of a outdoor pavilion area with clubs and businesses and dining. You spot several images of Leah among the bustling crowds there, stopping at a few places for conversation. She goes into a place called Bullet Bob's Runner Surplus. And you check the date on this, and it's dated the day after the shooting. It's dated today.
Sorry, and this is where the cab.
No, this is separate. So she got into a cab. You got footage of that. That was from the night of the shooting, and then from this morning, you've located her at a place called Anemoid Row. And she goes into a place called Bullet Bob's Runner Surplus. And this is today, so this is after the shooting.
How many hours ago was this then?
It looks like it was about 2 hours ago.
Is that near the snake pit?
It is. It's not far from there. She could probably have not. I mean, she could have walked there. But there's no footage of her arriving in Anemoid Row. So she probably took the cab to get away from the snake pit, but then today she's been spotted in town. Why she didn't report in to Holden, why she didn't... I mean, her partner got shot. Something's going on.
Well, I will, over the KIE unit, just share this, that her location as of about 2 hours ago is at this particular area.
I'll give you a chance to try and access one more bit of information here on your shift. Anything else you want to look into?
I do want to just analyze the snake pit footage and see if I can see who. I guess so. I was able to hear all of the conversations that were taking place. Correct?
Yes.
So
Well,
if I
at least
could-
the ones that were spoken to Olsenbacher.
All right. I just want to analyze the footage and see if I can tell who were the primary people involved with the shooting.
There won't be any footage from inside the building, but there will be kind of street side footage. You can give me another tech roll. Ooh, do you want to push that? You'll take 2 points of...
No, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, trying to find it. I mean, you spend hours just digging through this, and it's just, faces in a crowd, one after another, coming, going, people laughing, people talking. There's the pulsing music blaring from the snake pit. Every now and then the door opens, and this reddish light kind of blasts out into the street as people walk in and out the door. But you get no definitive identification on anyone there. You do notice, kind of stands out from you, a very tall, bald-headed person, almost holding court outside, talking to people and laughing, and then he heads in to the snake pit. You did hear the conversation with Styles, and you think maybe this was Styles. He was definitely there. Do you want to pull up any specific information on Leah or Styles or anything like that?
Yeah, if I've gleaned all that I can from the security cam footage, I'd like to perhaps go through both their files, and also I'd like to try and find out if they were there. Were they on duty there, or were they? This is just their off time.
Give me one more tech roll.
Is this with advantage, or this
Yes,
is
yep,
different?
still advantage. You're still at the place. So that's a success. You don't take any damage. You don't need to push that. You pull up Leah's performance report. You can see that she has had multiple baseline test failures. Now, a baseline test is what they give to replicants to make sure that they are still following their programming. If they are not, then they can be suspended or even terminated. And it looks like she failed 2 baseline tests earlier in the year. She was suspended after the second failure. She was recalibrated about a week and a half later, and then returned to active service the next day. So she was on active duty at the time of the shooting. But it looks like she's been having issues. She has failed multiple baseline tests. You are also able to pull up information on Styles. And one thing that you do note is that Leah is indeed she's a Nexus 9. She's a replicant. Here's your information on Styles. He is also a replicant. But the first thing that pops up to you, he's a Nexus 8. These are the ones that are... your department is kind of set up to eliminate these. But he definitely has a record in the LAPD. These Nexus 8s aren't supposed to still be around, but some of them hide in plain sight.
Well, I will keep that in mind. And then was I able to find out if the 2 replicants, if they were there on duty, or if they were there as this was their free time?
Yes. So Leah and Sandor, they were on duty, but they were not. They had not been actively sent there. They just happened to be there when the fight broke out. Maybe they were there to see someone else or talk to someone else when this all went down.
Did they have any information about why they were there at all?
No information. In fact, when you pull up the report on Sandor, and it mentions that he was found at the snake pit. There's no cross-referencing that he's ever been there. Now, you did not hear the conversation with Iris where she mentioned that she had seen Leah there many times. That only fell upon Jack's ears, unless he clicked his pen so that the rest of you could hear that. But as far as you know, these 2 have never been in there.
Jack would have left the recording on for that part with Iris.
So then you would know via Iris that Leah has been there multiple times. Sandor has never been there. And it sounds like Leah knows Styles.
Well, considering so Styles is technically what our department is supposed to take out.
Yeah, that's what you got. You're supposed to retire Nexus 8s. They're still out there. They tend to hide. They don't want to be found, but looks like Styles is registered as a Nexus 8.
Well, I will make sure that I share all this information with definitely Olson, and then if Jack has some way I can share this with him, but perhaps Olson can just share it with Jack once I've sent this information over.
You could also send it out on the Kia. It could go to both of them.
Well, I will do that so that they are aware of what I've discovered.
Do you make a phone call? Do you talk to either of them, or just send them the information that you found?
Yeah, I guess that might be kind of important, so I will definitely call Olson if possible and inform them about what the current situation is.
How does that conversation go? Like, what
I
sort of
suppose,
urgency do you put on it?
Well, it sounds like that Leah, the replicant we're looking for, is nearby as of 2 hours ago. I was also able to discover that what was his name, Styles, that you had spoken to at the entrance. He is he needs to be retired. He is a Nexus Model 8.
Wow, he looked like a bit like a runt. I never would have thought it.
Olson, what do you do with that information?
He did well. Immediately, I'm going to assume that all the information he gave me was false, but still, make sure I've got that. Maybe, I don't know, send that into the KIA. It's useful for the police to have a record, anyways. And
Yeah.
then finish up here. That's huge. Yeah. I can't just walk up to Jack, obviously, but I would try to find a way to inform him. Although he probably has his KIA on.
Yeah, you could text him, kind of thing, on there, or wait and meet up outside. Maybe say in a loud voice, "Well, we're all done here," and walk out. Or how would you handle that? I'll let you decide what your character would do.
Yeah, well, assuming we should make signals. Jeez, yeah, I feel like I could just pretty obviously make it clear that I've got some information and kind of just wait by the exit.
When you go out, give me an observation roll. Styles is nowhere to be found. You look around, you don't see him. You can push that if you want.
Yeah, I think I will.
Nope. Yeah, so
Not quite.
you've let this Nexus 8 slip through your fingers. You had him. He was giving you information, and now he's ghosted.
I knew he was being too helpful. There was always something sinister there.
That is the end of the first shift. How do you guys want to spend shift number 2? We'll start with Willem. What would you do for your next shift of time?
Well, I think perhaps trying to locate Leah might be important.
You want to go to the Metro Cab dispatch?
Yeah, if I could head there, that might yield some information.
Okay. What about Olson?
Goodness, it's a hard choice. I think Willem's probably on to something. Don't know if Wilson really be any help though.
Well, if Leah is a malfunctioning replicant, could always good to have backup.
True. Yeah, and 2 hours is not that long. I reckon we can find them.
So do you go to Metro Cab with Willem?
Yeah, I think that's what she'd be interested in doing.
What does Jack do?
He will go check out the morgue, the body, Sanders' body.
Oh, perfect. I'm writing these down. Willem, as you're heading over to the Metro Cab office, you get a call via the vid phone in your spinner, and it is a face you've not seen before. Let me post a picture. You see the Wallace Corporation logo pop up, and then a face. And she says, "Oh, officer, I must ask you to meet me at the Wallace Corp headquarters immediately. Any delay will not be well received by my superiors or yours. I expect you to arrive within the hour." And she turns off the communication. Do you want to continue to the Metro Cab, or do you go to the Wallace Corp headquarters?
Well, he did tell us to try and keep good relations with them. So I guess the information we get from the Metro Cab isn't gonna change much. So I suppose this might be important.
Or do you want to let Olson handle the Metro Cab and you go to Wallace, or do you want to take backup to go see to the Wallace Corp?
It's up to Olson. I think that it's important that I go to this, but if they want to come as backup, that's always helpful.
What would Olson do?
Yeah, definitely. That backup's kind of the thing she wants to be, really.
Perfect. So I'm going to change that from the Metro Cab to Wallace. Let's go to the morgue first. So Jack, you get to the morgue. You head over to the crime lab, and you meet Chief Medical Examiner Coco. And I've got a picture here, and if you have seen the Blade Runner 2049, this is the guy in the movie that is also the medical examiner there.
I have seen it, but I'm terrible at faces and names.
Faces. Yeah, I saw it
Names.
7 years ago. You walk in,
Actually,
and you see the unofficial LAPD office cat Biscuits. This is an artificial cat that is sitting on the ground and purring. And Coco, it takes a certain sort to work in the morgue, and he is exactly the sort, kind of ghoulish, and he probably never sees the sun. No, we meet again, Jack. It's been far too soon. I was hoping more time would pass between my next meeting with you, but I take it you're here to see the dead Blade Runner?
yeah, that's about as much small talk as either one of us can handle, so where's he at?
He goes and opens up a refrigerated unit. The door pops open, and you can see there's a sheet-covered body on a little slide-out tray. Slides him out and pulls the sheet down to about mid-abdomen, and you can see there's a huge hole in his chest. Give me a medical aid roll, Jack, if you would.
No.
Excellent.
Holy crap.
Excellent. Wow. You can tell that this was a point-blank shot with a large caliber weapon. The bullet went right through his chest, and Coco mentions the bullet has not been recovered.
Will fish the bullet out of my pocket, hand it to him.
He looks at it. This is caseless. There's no case on these. Caseless 44 ammunition. This is the same kind standard issue used in your blaster.
But my blaster has cases on it, right?
You can get ammo with cases, but you can also get caseless. It's kind of it's nice, like if you're doing illicit things, because there's no cases that could, leave evidence. Give me a connections roll, Jack. Ooh, do you want to push that?
I will, with the knowledge that there's at least one unicorn coming my way.
Yep.
2 now.
But you also got a success. You know.
It only took one. It only took one off. Should I take the one off from the first roll too, or no?
It kept the first roll, so it only re-rolled the one that wasn't a 1.
Okay.
So I see you got a unicorn and a 4, and then it just re-rolled the 4, and it was a 6, which is a success.
Okay.
You know that there's a vendor called Bullet Bob's Runner Surplus that sells Blade Runner gear, and that caseless 44 ammo can be found there. It's in Hawker's Circle in the Sector 4, which is not far from the Snake Pit. It's the next sector over.
Yeah, I saw that in the paper when you threw that up there earlier.
Yep. So that may be a place worth checking out.
And I'm going to check. I'm going to ask Coco if there were any defensive wounds. If it looks, was he shot front to back, back to front? In other words, was there anything to indicate that he tried to prevent?
He says there was no sign of a struggle. The shot went right through his chest, like someone put a gun to his chest and fired. There's no defensive wounds. There's no dirt or hair or skin under his nails. He stood there like a lemming and let someone shoot him right in the sternum.
Someone did it fast enough before he could react.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for your help. Hope to see you never.
Yeah, until next time. Hopefully never. And then he goes and he throws a little treat down to Biscuit, the cat, and the cat paws at it lazily and then just rolls over on its back as you shut the door and walk out. Let's go to Wallace Corp. While still under construction, the Wallace Corp headquarters towers over the sprawling cityscape, leaving no doubt about who wields the ultimate power in Los Angeles in 2037. These massive buildings are near impenetrable without an invitation, which, thankfully, you have. Let me pull this up. You land your spinner in a huge internal garage, and you descend into the cavernous and eerily empty interior, constantly cast in a pale golden light and shadows of water. At the front desk, you are greeted by a hairless file clerk who leads you into Quell's austere and immaculately decorated office, where Wallace Corp's VP of Public Relations receives you. Let me give you a mugshot for Quell. And you saw her on your vid phone, Willem. You would recognize this person. And let me give you a picture of the office. Thank you for coming. As if you had a choice. I must explain to you how critical the handling of this case is to the Wallace Corporation. The Nexus 9 launch was just over a year ago, and the public is still getting used to replicants among them. The survival of society as we know it depends on a smooth integration of the Nexus 9s. Please, tell me what you know so far and how you plan to continue the investigation. And she looks right at Willem.
Well, yes, we don't know much. I know this meeting better be quick. You might have cost us a lead, but so far we know that one of the replicants was working for the Blade Runner division. They were killed, as you know, and the other one we have reason to suspect was in a nearby area not too long ago, and we were going to investigate that before you interrupted us, but as of right now, that's what we know.
And then she looks at Officer Backer. Is this all?
Yes, I'm sure you're aware of our mainframe device that lets us gather information even when we're not together. That's the brief.
I must tell you that Chief Holden pledged full disclosure and cooperation. This is what I expect. The consequences of non-cooperation would be unfortunate. If you're holding something back from us, this is your first and final warning. How are you going to make this go away?
Well, we're still putting the whole puzzle together right now, but once we do figure something out, we'll make sure that you stay briefed. Is there any information that you can offer us that might help our case here?
You want me to do your police work for you? Do you
Well,
even have a suspect?
I am an inspector, and it's my job to collect information, so is there any information that you can offer?
Well, ask your questions and I'll give you what answers I can, but this seems like a colossal waste of time.
Very well. And as for a suspect, we do happen to suspect what was his name? Was it Styles or no? He was the replicant.
Skylar, the guy that runs
Skylar.
the magazine.
Yes, Mr. Skylers runs a magazine, and we suspect that he might have been the one to instigate the incident last night.
If you ask me, that's who did it. I think that should be your main lead, is the human supremacist groups that are inciting hatred and violence against replicants. What do you know about the victim?
He was part of our own division, Nexus 9. He was a Blade Runner.
They are reliable. Yeah. They are wonderful things. We need the public to be aware of this. We can't have them thinking that there's any reason to resist having Nexus 9s among us.
All we know for now is that he was killed last night, and that's our suspect, and we are currently investigating the matter right now.
Give me an insight roll, Willem. You looked at Leah's performance report, and you know that she failed some baseline tests. And Quell is telling you that these Nexus 9s are infallible. They're top of the line, yet here you've got evidence that Leah struggled. Do you bring this up?
I will say, you say that these Nexus 9s are infallible, but do you have, you said we are disclosing everything with one another. Do you have any, data that would suggest otherwise, that they can malfunction? Because this could be very important to our solving of this case.
Look, Leah failed a few baseline tests, and she was brought here for recalibration. This is standard procedure. With tens of millions of Nexus 9s being produced, minor malfunctions are to be expected in rare cases. I think it's highly unlikely this had anything to do with her disappearance. Instead, I think that you should look into that human supremacist group that are inciting hatred and violence against replicants. Have you seen their magazine? I'm dreading when the latest issue comes out. It's going to be inflammatory. If we can put a halt to that, we would owe a great deal to the department.
Well, I'll do what I can, and then I think Willem's mostly said everything he wants to.
Does Olsen have anything else to add or ask?
No, nothing I can think of.
She stands up, doesn't even say goodbye, just stands up, and the door behind you opens, and she just waits for you to get up and leave. why don't we take a break here? We're at the 90-minute mark. Let's take like an 8-minute break, and we'll be back and continue with shift number 3. So we can do one more shift, and then we're going to have to do downtime. You can do downtime for shift 3 and work 3 more shifts after that, or do another shift and then do downtime in shift 4. So I'll let you all decide, but for now, let's take a brief intermission. Sword, I'm headed to the mountains to rescue the princess from the evil goblin. I ignore all the signs of impending danger because I'm a fighter and not some crappy ranger. 47 hit points and a high dexterity, 17 for strength. Kobolds are afraid of me, crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. I locate the lair, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, parts tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in a battle, hewing foes asunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate with a handful of dice. 5 times I roll 20. The dragon goes down
chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on a living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. The king on a ring with a mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back.
Hello.
Hello. Looks like Henrik is back. Is Reese back with us? Yes, he is.
I'm here.
All right, so we just finished shift 2. We need to decide what we're going to do for shift 3. If you want to go to the Metro Cab place, you could do that now. So this would represent the evening of the first day, and then we've got the night that leads into the next morning. So in the evening, where is Willem wanting to go?
I think the Metro Cab is where he thinks the best lead is.
Okay. What about Jack? Where do you want to spend your time?
I'll go to the magazine.
Kill Magazine. And how about Olson?
Yeah, Olson will tag along with Willem.
With Willem? Okay. Let's do the magazine first. Let me take us all to the office. Just make sure. Let me just give you guys. You may not have had vision on the last map. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Can you guys all see the map there? Not that we're using the map, but just kind of for visuals. Let's go to the kill office. You pull up, and the glow of the neon sign is unmistakable. The seedy office of Kill Magazine is located in Sector 1. The publisher, Jel Schuyler, he is known to be a member of the anti-replicant empathy movement. You find your way here after getting leads from Taffy Lewis, and who placed Gel at the scene of the shooting, and Styles as well placed Gel here. When you head in, there's about a dozen people working in this smoke-filled and dimly lit office. Let me give you a mugshot. This is Gel Skyler. He, when you come in, he's like, "Sir, welcome to Kill Magazine. Would you like to subscribe?"
Subscribe. I want to sign up.
Sign up.
Think you guys got it right. You know, we couldn't trust them then, can't trust them now.
Amen, brother. And he reaches
You hear
out
what
and
happened?
shakes your hand.
You ever hear what happened over at the Snake Pit last night?
Hear it? I was there. I seen it.
You were.
Yeah. Oh man.
That must have been glorious. What happened?
Well, I give me a manipulation roll with advantage. He kind of starts telling you about the evening, and he'd out drinking with friends, and that's a popular place to go, and ooh, nice. He says, "Yeah, so I was at the Snake Pit. I was drinking and watching some useless skin jobs dancing on the stage. And then this big albino starts to argue with me and my friends. I know this guy. His name's Styles. I've seen him around Animoid Row. It's kind of a popular place around here. You know the place. During the brawl, these two Blade
Trash
Runners.
making trash.
Exactly. Nothing but trash. During the brawl, these two Blade Runners, they tried to intervene, and this man pulls his blaster on the albino to arrest him. And then out of nowhere, this woman Blade Runner pulls her blaster, shoots him right in the chest. And then she takes off out into the street. I think she got into one of them metro cabs. I'd seen her before. She's come to the Snake Pit to drink a few times. Oh, we're going to run a killer story in the morning on this. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to get the truth out. People got to know the truth, not what's fed to them by, the corporations, but what's really going on in this country."
Yeah. Now you said that both the Blade Runners were skin jobs?
Yeah, they were. And the lady one, she pulls out her gun, shoots her partner. Craziest damn thing.
Not really. Them skin jobs have always been unstable.
You can't trust them. You cannot trust them. Malfunction is what I'm saying. Bad programming. You'll never find a human that will break their code of ethics. No, we stick to what we know to be right, and we know that these skin jobs got no place in society.
Exactly. Hey, you ever hear of can I insight to see if he's actually if he believes this is what happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he is absolutely telling the truth. You're looking at his eyes. I mean, he's given off all of the subconscious signals that this is someone telling exactly what he saw. He believes this just as much as he believes in baseball and apple pie.
Hey, you ever hear of a place called Bullet Bob's?
Oh yeah, that's over on Animoid Row, right next to that guy selling the fake butterflies.
Yeah, they advertise with you guys, do they?
Yeah, we take money where we can. Bullet Bob's, we got to arm the populace, because you never know when the next uprising is going to happen, if you know what I mean. Back in 2019, that was some bad shit.
No, I knew the original Bob,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say I might be able to catch some business your way. So, I mean, places like that, they should tell you whether the dancer's a skin job or a human. That way you don't waste your time and your money.
Well, there's a way you can tell. You get them to look up and to the left, you can see the barcode on their eyes. And then, as a matter of fact, he looks up and to the left and shows you on his eye where it's nothing but bloodshot.
Yeah. I will also look up and to the left, hoping that you didn't roll a 12 on your roll.
So I did roll the dice earlier. So just for those that want to know what we're talking about, so you let me choose if your character is a human or a replicant, and to do so, I roll a dice, and if it comes up with I think it's a 1, then you are a replicant, but you don't know it. He looks at your eye and he pauses a second, and then he looks at you and he smiles. Yeah, you're one of us.
Yeah, knew it.
Is that a relief to you?
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to say. I can't remember if replicants can even be city speakers. I forgot.
They cannot. Nope. But if no one knew that's what you were, then you could not.
Yeah.
Then you perhaps you could, or maybe you're undercover. Yeah. But no, it seems like you're human.
Okay. But yeah, I'm. So for me, yeah, it's kind of a relief because I was hoping to be human here, but I will. I will ask him. What I said. I'm tired of this. It's only been a year since the Snines, as I call them, have been able to walk among us. How are we going to stop this? What's the next step? I'm pretty good at a number of things. I'd like to take an active role. What other than your magazine's making people aware, but sometimes it takes action. What's next for us?
Here's what those of us that are concerned about the population are willing to do for it. That big building that says Wallace Corp. At some point, that's got to go. You didn't hear it from me, but take down the
Trash
Wallace Corp. Yeah, take down the Trash Corp and no more replicants. And then we just hunt them down one by one. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out an eyeball and shows you this eyeball, and he turns it to the side, and you can see the little barcode on there. It's like, we're going to be collecting these. And he puts it back in his pocket.
Looks like he got a good start.
I did.
So I will kind of take a look around, looking at like maybe some old covers or whatever, and see if there are any obvious other like secret doors from here, any surveillance cameras inside here, and also I want to look to see what surveillance cameras are on the outside of the place to pass on to my computer savvy people that they can see who comes and goes from here.
You can see where someone is working on the cover for the magazine that will drop in the morning, and you get a glimpse of the cover. And he's very proud to show you this cover. I'll send that right there. This is the cover of tomorrow's magazine. And then as you look, everyone in here seems like kind of the dregs of humanity. This is not a good cross-section of the finest that humanity has to offer. You've got a lot of kind of conspiracy theorists, flat earthers. That's kind of what the magazine caters to. And you can tell that these are people, they probably own land up in Idaho to run a militia, or they would have 20 years ago, before the need for militias was obsolete. But these are that sort of people. They're all busy at work at desks and computers.
You can't spell magazine without. Oh wait, never mind. But Uh, just like I don't know how the human first human supremacists or whatever are. Am I surprised to see that in the cover of the magazine they are pushing android dogs? Like, do they want all replicants gone or just the human-looking replicants gone?
It sounds like the human replicant's gone. That's really what they want gone. They're okay with things that are in servitude. Like if you had a like a Roomba, that'd be great. If you had an android dog that you could beat and would listen to you and couldn't think for itself, that'd be fantastic. But when you get someone that looks like you and acts like you, but it's not you, that's when you get worried, and that's when the conspiracies start to build up, and they get a little anxious and a little nervous. It's almost like if they could have their thumb under, or have the replicants under their thumb, they would be fine with that. But for some reason, Wallace Corp doesn't make it obvious which ones are replicants, which are second class. They should come with like a blinking light on the top of their head or a bell around their neck, for crying out loud, so we know which ones we can trust and which ones we can take advantage of. But yeah, they got no problem if you have service androids that are strictly there basically as your 24-hour slave that you can abuse as much as you want. They just don't think that replicants should be working in the police, that they shouldn't be holding any position of authority over humans. Yeah, definitely they would object to that.
I will end my third shift. I will return back to my grungy flat, where Emma is not going to be there. However, her android ferret will, and so I will play with it for a while to decompress and try to get my thoughts in order.
Okay, so you'll do your downtime for shift 4?
Yes.
Let's go to the Metro Cab office with the other two. Metro Cab dispatch. Let me get us off of Kill Magazine. We'll just go to the map of LA. The Metro Cab dispatch office is located in a dingy old building in Sector 5. There's a dozen people that work in this run-down and dirty office space. When you get here, you're greeted by a gruff main Metro Cab dispatcher, Irmgard. What do you guys want? We're very busy here. We've no time for this. And he looks at Willem. Sir, you need cab?
No, I will show him my badge and say, we're here to ask you some questions.
Give me a manipulation roll. You police, you only come around when there's trouble. You're never here when we help people. We take people to hospital and things like that. No, it's only when there's crime. Tell me, what happened? Who did we hit with the cab?
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. We just need to ask you a few questions. No trouble for you, just gathering information right now. I'd like to perhaps see your records on, and I guess I would have hopefully written down the number.
You could produce that picture from your KIA. He says,
and for this particular cab.
Yeah, give me a minute. I need coffee. And he goes out and he kind of takes his time pouring coffee. He does not offer you or Olsen any coffee at all. He doesn't even offer for you to sit down. He's very, very gruff. While he's making coffee, what is Olsen doing? Anything at all?
No, I don't think she really wants to get in the way. Just observing.
Yeah. He comes back and puts his coffee down and sips it. It's hot. Let me look. And he starts clicking away at his computer. What night you need? Last night? Let's see. The cab left the Snake Pit late on last night and dropped off its fare at Anemoid Row shortly after that. And then picked up some other people, went around. I think that's the one you're looking for. So, from Snake Pit to Anemoid Row. I think Earl...
Was there any complications with the drive, or everything goes smoothly?
I don't know. I don't talk to the driver. I suppose you want me to call him.
If you would be so obliged.
Obliged, or more like I have to, you and your badge. He gets out his radio. Earl, tell me about last night. You have a fare from Snake Pit? Yes, a young woman. What? She had a gun? Oh, all right. Earl says he picked up young woman. She was had a gun, very upset. She got out at Anemoid Row and then disappeared. We're not supposed to pick up people with guns. I'm going to dock Earl a day's wage. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, sir. His children will not eat tonight.
Well, perhaps you don't need to be that harsh, but this driver of yours, do you have any more information? Perhaps you have his contact information. I could speak to him myself.
Oh, I don't know if I can just give that out. It seems like that is private. You probably need a warrant or something for that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's not everything up to date here at this establishment of yours, and I wouldn't want to cause any complications, so perhaps you can help me out, and I can help you out.
Give me a manipulation roll. All right. We picked up this woman once before. She's used the cab a few times. We've taken her to her... She has an apartment. It's Sector 5. Not far from where your guys' headquarters. It's 13th floor. Here's the address. Now, go away. And he gives you the address to Leah's apartment.
Well, thank you for your cooperation, and
Do I have
a good
choice?
day.
No, cooperation. You twist my arm, I give you what I have. And you just stand there saying nothing. And he looks at Olson.
Well, you cooperated in a manner of speaking. Well, call me the bad cop.
Oh, well, you very good bad cop. He not very good cop, though. You got to work on that. You guys need a cab? I give you a deal on the fare.
No, we have our own means, but thank you for your time, and I think that's all we have to ask here.
All right. That's the end of shift 3. So I know how Jack is going to spend shift 4. So after 3 shifts, you need to take downtime unless I think Willem has an ability that lets him work an extra shift.
Yes.
Does Olson want to do her downtime now? At the night of the first day?
Yeah, she does not have that ability, so she will, definitely.
What about Willem? Are you going to take downtime or work an extra shift?
I think that perhaps Willem would like to use that extra shift to try and maybe do some surveillance on this apartment, see if he can find Leah.
Alright. Let's go to downtime. So you have some choices with downtime. You can do it in your home, or you can go out and get noodles and spend it kind of out in the street, wandering around, clearing your head. Sounds like Jack is going to go to his flat. Where is Olson going? Home or out?
I think she would just kind of have a walk. Yeah, out, definitely.
Okay, let's do the home event. So there is a table that I will roll on. So during downtime, you will recover 1 point of damage and 1 point of resolve. Or 1 point of damage and 1 of stress. So 1 health and 1 resolve during downtime. You also have the chance to explore your characters more deeply through downtime events. And these events often involve your key relationships or your key memories. And some can even give you useful information about the case. So I am going to roll a d8. This is going to be for Jack. 6. Jack, tell me about your key relationship.
So, my key relationship is with my wife, Emma. We met while Jack was just getting on to the force about 5 years ago. And the nature of his assignment was such that no one really knows that he's on the force, including Emma. We we had an on again, off again. Definitely some knockdown dragouts. It wasn't that Jack was mad at her. It wasn't that Jack was abusive toward her. But it was the easiest way to get her not to dig into areas that she shouldn't dig into. We decided to get married for convenience, to share this piece of shit flat over here in Nightclub Row and the costs and everything. But we don't share much more than the living space. However, recently she has gone missing. I do care a great deal for her, and so I keep my ear to the ground because someone's going to pay. Even if it wasn't the best relationship, it was my relationship, and you don't take that from me.
Your vid phone goes off while you're at home, and there is no number on display, and it says audio only. Do you answer that call?
So Jack and Emma have set up the vid phone that when they do answer it, whether it be with video or audio only, the image of Emma's ferret comes up
Perfect.
on there.
That's what
And
you see then. You see the ferret.
yeah, so he'll make sure his Kia is off. Jack, how'd you get this number?
Baby, I need money. I need money tonight.
Emma, where are you? Who's got you? Why'd you leave?
Look, I can't explain, but these people have me. They say they're using me to get to you. I don't know nothing about you. I don't even know what you do, but you've upset someone. They gave me your number. I called you on my device. Sorry to bother you, but I need money tonight. Can you
No.
Can you meet me somewhere?
No. Now, this is the flat that he shares with Emma.
Mm-hmm.
She's got his number.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to give it to him.
Yeah, something's not right here.
Yeah, everything about this is just wrong.
Give me an insight roll with advantage.
That's, yeah. Insight with advantage.
Oh yeah, your spidey sense is tingling. This is definitely not right. This does not sound like her conversation. For one, she didn't preface it with "Hey asshole." Doesn't sound like you two, like your conversations. You detect something in her voice that sounds synthetic.
Yeah. Why don't you I can meet you where we went on our first date in 1 hour. And I'll hang up.
Ooh, nice. Do you follow up on that? Do you go there?
I mean, sure. I don't expect her to be there because. So I'm in the. Where's my place at? I'm in Nightclub Row. That's what, sector 4?
Five, I think.
Sector 5?
I think it's in Sector 5. Here's the LAPD headquarters. I can look it up real quick. The sneak pit is.
Nightclub Row.
Shoot, this does not say.
Right, Wallace Corp is in 4.
It's got to be in 5. So here is Animoid Row, which is not far from there. So it's got to be in 5.
All right.
I don't see it on the map.
Well, then, so then our first date was at
actually, hang on. It's way over here. It's in Sector 1. Is Nightclub Row.
Oh, okay. Nexus Sneak Pit. Excellent.
Yeah, there we go.
You know what? Their first date was when he paid for her in the red light district. So he'll
Nice.
he'll go to he'll go to her old gentleman's club, Madam's house, whatever it's called.
You show up at this place and there's memories here. As you're heading here, you're definitely keeping an eye out for, are you being followed? Is someone watching you? Give me another insight roll as you make that trip over there.
Sure.
Or, excuse me, observation, not insight. Sorry.
Not my best skills. No. Don't do that. I was not supposed to roll.
Yeah,
sorry.
With advantage.
Well, I wasn't supposed to.
Because even if we take away one of those, it's still going to be
a success. So
yeah, so it wouldn't matter. Yeah, you see there are lights behind you that seem to follow even as you make turns down kind of lesser known streets. Those lights continue to show up behind you. You are being followed.
Yeah. So about a half a block before I get to my eventual destination, I'm going to pop into one of the all night noodle shops or whatever that is owned by a friend of mine using my connections, and come out a little used side door from there.
Ooh, nice. Give me a stealth roll with advantage.
Can I use connection?
Yes. I'll let you use connections. I like that because you did say you know these people. They would definitely cover for you. Oh yeah, excellent. You get out the side door and you can hear people talking inside. It's a man's voice, and they're asking where the guy in the hat went. And the person inside the noodle shop says, "Oh, no one in hat here. Here, have noodles." And plays dumb. I don't speak English. And does their best attempt to put the person off. You hear the clatter of a bowl of noodles hit the ground, and then you hear a punching sound, and oof, as someone then falls to the ground. And then the front door opens, a little bell, a little chime rings, and it's quiet inside.
Yeah, I have heard this. I've made off out of a side door, but this will be answered for.
Excellent. Let's go to Leah's apartment, and then we'll go to Olson's downtime. Leah's...
Oh, sorry. Can I add one small thing?
Yes.
Once I realized I was being followed, I made sure to take paths where I know that there were cameras
Ooh, excellent.
that would allow me to see them from multiple angles.
Yeah, and you could even pull it up in real time on your Kia and be able to watch. And you see, it was it wasn't a police spinner. It was just kind of a random vehicle that does have flight capability. These are owned by typically wealthier individuals. This one is all black. All black. There's no markings, no plates. Whoever this isn't some, petty criminal. This is organized against you.
All right, that'll do it.
Excellent.
Sorry.
No problem. Let's go to Leah's apartment. So, Willem, it's late, but you push on ahead. Once you get a lead in your head, you know you've got to follow up. And this small studio apartment is in Sector 5, not far from the LAPD headquarters. If you've seen Blade Runner 2049, this is just like Kay's apartment. It's on the 13th floor of the building. And the elevator is out of order. The stairwell is filthy and covered in graffiti. As you climb the stairs, you'll need to push past a few other residents. Maybe giving them angry stares. This is a place, this is a tough place. And when you get to her floor, on her door is spray painted the word "skin job." A large burly man smelling of cheap whiskey comes up to you. Are you friends of that skin job?
I think I'll show him my badge and say, well, I'm investigating a crime that they might be involved in.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Untrustworthy, the lot of them. One day, we'll take over. She ain't here, just so you know. She ain't welcome back.
Well, when was the last time they were here?
Earlier today, I think, or last night. I don't know. I wasn't here, but we keep an eye on them skinnies that are here. We don't like them. Keep one eye on them at all times, I say.
Well, you know where they might be headed the last time you saw them, then where I might find them.
I don't know. She comes and goes. She works for you guys. You should know where she's at. She's one of you, after all. You ain't one of them, are you?
No, but I suppose that's really none of your business there.
Hey, what's that up there? And he points up to make you look up and left. Do you look?
I suppose I wouldn't know that trick, so I guess I would.
He looks at you kind of squinting. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, there's nothing up there. I hope she's dead. I hope you know. Sorry, I know she's one of yours, but she ain't too, You're one of mine.
Well, if she does come back here, just if you don't mind calling the LAPD, that would be helpful to our case.
We might call them to come clean up the mess, if you know what I mean. She's trouble, she is.
Well, I suppose I best be going then.
All right. He walks off and heads down the stairs. If you want to get in, you need to bypass the lock on her door. You can either make a tech roll, or you can pry it open using force.
I think let's see. They're the exact same, so I guess I will use a tech roll.
You want to push that?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Oh.
Well, you get it open, but you do take a point of stress. Inside, you find a small and barren apartment. Post a picture. It's probably not too dissimilar from your own apartment. The apartment is empty. There's no one here, but everything of interest you'll see in the picture. Just let me know if there's anything you want to look at specifically.
Mostly just looking. Is there any, I guess, thing that would indicate where she might have gone, or that would indicate her involvement in last night's event?
Well, give me an observation roll. Do you want to push that?
Yeah, I will.
There we go. Again, it's a little stressful, but it's late. You're tired. You know, nothing's coming easy on this case.
And,
You think?
in fact, while this is happening, I'd like to take out one of my smokes and use that to gain back a point of stress.
Perfect. So you can go ahead and that's your significant item. You light it up. You can regain that point of stress.
No, that's just a specialty that I can do once per
perfect.
shift.
Oh, perfect. On the small table next to the sofa, there's a butterfly jar with several surreal yet beautiful butterflies in it. These are clearly artificial. Give me a connections roll as you look at these. You've heard of these or seen these somewhere. You try to remember. You want to push that?
No, I don't think I will.
All right, yeah. There's something about these butterflies. You're not sure what it is. But on the nightstand next to the fold-out bed, there's a photo of a dark-haired child. Let me post a picture of this. You pick it up and look at this picture. And this photo, it looks kind of like Leah. You know, if she were 10 or 12.
Do I think this might be their key memory or related to it?
So you know that all replicants have a memory implant. They're implanted with a key memory. And it's usually something very traumatic, which is designed to keep them in line. It kind of reminds them that they are not human. And kind of the point of the Blade Runner movies and the book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, is about discovering your humanity. And it's often through these memories that in the movies and the book where these, replicants realize that, what it means to be human. And a replicant wouldn't have a baby. So if this is a daughter, that would be impossible. So this is most likely a memory. And it's probably significant to Leah. You see that there's a stamp on the back of the picture. It says Doc Badger. Give me a connections roll. Doc Badger runs a pawn shop in Sector 5. So she got this printed from that pawn shop. Now there are machines called Stellene machines that can take memories and make physical reproductions of them, and that's likely what happened here. These are typically illegal, so if he's got one in there, then this might be something worth looking into. On another table, there's a book that's open, and it's a collection of poems by William Blake. It's opened to a well-known poem called The Tiger. And let me post that here. It says, Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? You're not sure if this has something to do with her state of mind, but you suspect that perhaps she identifies herself as the tiger, and perhaps she wonders about her nature. As you pick up the book and thumb through it, you can tell that one page has been torn out.
If I look at the index, do I know what page that was or what was on it?
Yes, let me find it. Give me. You don't need to give me a roll for that. Let me find it. It is untitled. There's no. It's just in a chapter called Assorted Works.
Well, I will keep that in mind. Is there anything that would indicate where she might have gone, if she left anything that would help indicate that? Otherwise, I'm interested in, after I've rested, checking out this photo, or the company that produced the memories for it.
Yeah, there's nothing else that seems to indicate anything of where she might have gone. Most of the clues you find here would indicate that she was very troubled, and she was perhaps questioning her place in the world, in all things. And then this photo of this young girl, that's a little bit disturbing. You know, why would she have that? And if that is her key memory, what could it mean? Let's go to Olson's downtime. Now, you were going to wander the streets, correct?
Yeah, that was correct.
All right, let me make a roll here. There's another table for downtime street events. Oh, that can't be
Oh my.
good.
No, that doesn't feel good, no.
Okay. Let me take us to this page. I'm going to pull your token out. Are you having food? Or are you just walking around?
Yeah, we heard a lot of names today, you know, it's just like a clear your thoughts kind of walk around the streets.
As you are walking around, give me an observation roll. There are two men. They both look kind of dirty and shabby. They're wearing hooded sweatshirts, military-style boots. They're well worn. If these were military, it's been years. They seem to be following you and getting closer. And every time you turn around, they sort of look away. But they're definitely getting closer.
Right. Gee. that's less than ideal. Well, I suppose my idea would be try to make it pretty obvious I'm a cop. I don't know. I got a gun on my hip and a badge, so if that's not persuasive. That's very concerning.
Give me a manipulation roll with disadvantage. Do you want to push that?
You know what? It's unlikely, but I will push it. Why not?
Ooh. Oh, you got it.
Wow.
Okay. One of them says, "Hey, lady, that's a nice gun. Why don't you give me that and save yourself a broken leg?"
Wow. Well, oh, well, okay. I've obviously drawn the gun at this point. I said the only way you're gonna get it, is if you keep fucking with me. You know.
Look, you can put the
You
gun
know.
down and walk away. You can probably only get one of us before the other one gets you and gets the gun.
I hope he does. I'm expert in hand-to-hand combat.
They start taking a few steps closer.
Well,
You gonna fire or fight?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, you can only give a guy one warning. You should. You learn lessons.
So this has initiative cards, just like Dragonbane and Basin and other Free League games. So if you want to draw your initiative card,
Yeah. Actually, her thing is she gets 2.
she gets 2 cards. Okay, I can before you draw. Let me do that. I can do that. Draw size is 2, and then you can keep the best one. Perfect. So go ahead when you draw. I think it'll give you the choice of 2 cards.
Oh, yep. Oh my. Could be better.
Oh, geez.
That's the best one.
Okay, so first guy, he's gonna come up and he pulls out it's a piece of pipe, and he's gonna rack you with this pipe. So the way that close combat works is it's an opposed close combat roll. So you will roll your close combat skill, and he will roll his, and successes counter out successes. Whoever gets the highest, even if you get higher, you'll be able to damage him.
All right.
Oh, so he got...
Oh dear.
Okay, so he would have had a critical success. You block off one of those. You can push that to try and get one more success, or you can take the hit from the pipe. Oh, look at that. Okay, so he swings the pipe and you block it with your arm, and your reflexes kick in, and you short his arm, and so that he can't get a full blow on you. Let's go to next guy. So let's begin the combat. Let me just go to the next guy here. Okay. Well, I went out of order. All right. This guy's going to come up. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to try and crack you over the knee with a pipe.
Yeah.
So same
went first.
idea. It's going to be hand-to-hand combat.
Ooh.
He gets 2 successes. That will be a critical if he succeeds. You negate one of those. Do you want to push that 12-sided die?
And this is crazy because in Forbidden Lands, pushing is so scary every time, and I'm sure it is in this one too. But she's had pretty good luck thus far. So
Oh yeah, and
just
with
to
a
jinx
12,
myself.
you've got a 50% chance of success.
Right. Although you can't use the 12 because that must have been the one that. Oh, okay. I see how that works.
Nice.
Oh,
So you, so you can re-roll the one that had a success on it. I think that's what you did. So you re-rolled your one success.
it only gave me an option of the one. The other one was grayed out, I think, or I misinterpreted that. It seemed like the other one already was selected and like great. I couldn't click it, but I didn't even try. I just assumed.
I'm not sure.
I think it was saying like you've succeeded with this one, you can't re-roll it.
Because I think it does let you re-roll successes. Because I think that's why it rolled 2 dice. but your D10 was your success, and when you re-rolled the D12, it came up as the pony. So your D12 was the pony. That's the one that you would have re-rolled. So you still would have ended up with one success and one pony, the unicorn. So you will make it not a critical hit to you. You will take a point of health from the stress, and then you'll take an additional point for the damage.
Yep, done.
Perfect. Now it is your turn. Now, if you want to fire your gun, they don't fight back. It's just you firing the roll, and they're point blank. So when you go to fire that, if you open up your character sheet, if you go to combat, and you can see your gun, if you hover over it, it'll pull up a small little rectangle, and the first one looks like a die. It says roll item. You click on that, and then it will ask you, what round are you using? 44 caseless, sonic round, or the 222 rifle round in there. You pick the one that you're using. The 44 caseless is probably your best one.
Yeah.
And then you can click on, if it gives you the option to do point blank, you can click on that.
I don't see. I see a few modifiers, but I don't see a point blank. There's like careful aim, large target, small target, etc.
It's okay. It's because this one is medium range, so there is no point blank. So go ahead and give yourself advantage on that because you are like right next to the guy. Okay, so that's going to do 2 points of critical of damage, plus it's going to be a critical. Do you want to push any of those or keep the results that you got?
Oh, well, I mean, that seems pretty good to me.
Yeah. Go ahead and click accept. Perfect. And then let's roll the critical. That is a critical injury piercing. You get 2 of them. All right, you can you can choose brains blown out or severed leg.
Well, I mean, god damn, that's a hell of a revolver. I mean, that's an obvious choice, though.
Right. Let's take brains blown out. All right. So, tell me how do you take this guy out?
Yeah, he's the one who hit me first. He's the one I blocked. So maybe, the other one hits me, but as he's hitting me, I get the gun under his chin, and, that's that.
Nice. All right, let me wipe him out here. Perfect. All right, we'll draw cards. Or no, you keep your cards for the full round of combat. That's right. In this game, you don't redraw cards.
Yeah, that's how it works in Forbidden Lands.
Yeah. This guy he's going to run. As he bolts, if you want to take a shot, you can take a free shot.
Oh, man. You don't have to prove that, all you have to prove is that you were there for your life.
Right.
Oh. No, I wouldn't shoot him. She never turned her, KIA off. I don't think I'm risking anything crazy on a broad daylight, but she thinks about it.
Nice. He sprints out of there. People are looking around, kind of interested. Do you hold up your badge?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, a gunshot is going to draw attention. So definitely establish I'm a police officer. You want to control the scene, I guess. And, oh man, the paperwork. Oh.
Right. You see people, once you show your badge, they just turn around and go back to whatever they were doing. Do you phone this in, or do you walk away?
No, I mean, you'd have to phone it in.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's going to be paperwork, but you know what? So be it. This could have ended so much worse. You will get a chance now to recover. You can recover 1 point of health and 1 point of resolve. Looks like you don't have any resolve damage, so you can go ahead and recover that. Oops, other way. There we go.
Yep.
And then same thing for Jack if he hasn't recovered from his downtime. You can go ahead and do that. And that takes us to the...
Yes.
Perfect.
I got my point of resolve back.
Excellent. That takes us to the end of Shift 4, the end of Day 1. Let's go to the start of day 2, and the first thing that happens in the this morning is Willem going to do his downtime.
Yes.
Okay. And what is actually before I tell you what happens, there's because of the timing. Let me see. Something happens right now. A story claiming that a Blade Runner killed a fellow colleague at the Snake Pit breaks in Kill magazine. You see that magazine in the street, and you also hear about it from a furious Detective Holden who calls you. He tells you, Wallace Corp's army of spin doctors will make sure this is buried and forgotten, but this isn't good. It sounds like you guys might have leaked some information. You need to get in here and convince me that you're not the source of the story, or you're going to lose some promotion. What is Olsen going to do with that?
Well, if this might just get her off having to do that paperwork. So,
Right.
Might as well.
Go see Holden. What about Jack? Do you want to let her take
Ain't
the
no
fall?
way. Ain't no way in hell I'm coming to the office 2 days in a row. People get suspicious. If I did leak it and I didn't, then I did it in order to follow up and get this case solved. Now, I did go check out Kill magazine. They were there. They saw it. They didn't need us to tell them shit.
What do you do instead of going to see Holden?
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with where we haven't gone. There's one place I know we haven't gone, but that I don't really want to go to.
You could go to
I
Bullet
would
Bob's.
I can go to Bullet Bob's. I would like to use my. I'll plug my Kia unit, since my portable unit is not as robust. I'll plug my Kia unit into my home unit. I want to see who was following me. I want to see. I want to get some, get some and try to see if I can determine who was following me.
Excellent.
Even though honestly, computer work isn't my best. And then I may see if I can see who assaulted Olsen last night too.
Perfect. Let's do Olsen with Holden first. Let me just get this off of here. You go back into Holden's office, and he is absolutely furious. He's sitting behind his desk. He's like, look, this shouldn't be so hard. Just pin this on somebody and let's move on. Now, I hear you're leaving bodies in the street. Backer, what are you doing?
Well, that was a clear case. I'm sure some footage picked me showing them my badge, and they advanced and tried to beat me. I'm quite happy to give you the report in the morning, but, well, I suppose the more important thing would be this case. Yes, we've been pretty vigilant with the KIA. I'm sure you've been able to get in and read that, Deputy. We've spoken with the newspaper folk. They were there. They've seen it.
Yeah.
Not sure what more we could do about that.
Yeah, I just, look, you're giving me acid reflux, and I'm all out of antacids. I really need this to be over. Look, I'm putting you on notice right now. Yesterday was not a good day for the department. I'm taking away a promotion point. So you get to take the fall for everybody. I'm going to take away one of your promotion points.
That's fair. I think Backer feels like that's only fair. She did literally just blow a guy's head off.
Well, and I want to stress this is not because you did anything wrong. It's just if you get called in there to the office, you're going to lose a promotion point. And it would have been whoever showed up. You just happened to be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's kind of she's like happy to fill that role.
Yeah.
Fair's fair. The politics, that's the way it goes.
While you're there, he kind of let's just look at your file, and he pulls up your performance report. Let's see, you were a volunteer for the Off-World Colonization Defense Program. Interesting. You fought alongside the reps who never chose to be there. Is this true? You joined the you're a member of the replicant rights movement, so sounds like you got your head on straight. Tell me about Colonel Wade Marston. What is it about you and him that why do I see this in your file?
Yeah, yeah, I was wondering if you're familiar with the name. I suppose he's pretty famous. Yeah, I didn't get to know him too well. He was just the colonel commanding a battle.
What exactly happened? How did this? Why do I got some notes in here in your file about you and replicants? Why are you so keen on seeing them survive, make a name for themselves?
Oh, well, if you just see what I'd seen, sir, the colonel, he was, I'm not here to, discuss politics, but he threw them into the meat grinder, used them like, I suppose they are second-class citizens legally, but if you'd seen it, it was just wrong. It wasn't right. And they were nobler than any human I've ever seen.
Well, do you think it was in their programming?
It's hard to tell. Sometimes it did seem quite mortal almost, but they are just, wires and metal.
Ain't that the truth? All right. Well, look. See if you can't put a wrap on this by the end of the day. I don't want to see this go into another cycle of news. We can contain this, but I'm giving you 24 hours to get this solved. You understand?
Understood. I'll let the other officers know.
All right. Hey, no other officers. This is you. You want to move on up in the department. There's room. You make this happen. You got it? Them other two, they couldn't even be bothered to come and face me. Takes guts to do what you did.
Well, thank you, sir.
That said, I still got to take your promotion point, but
Of course.
you can get it back.
Politics.
Yeah, I got to be seen to do the right thing myself, or I'm going to lose promotion myself. All right,
You're the deputy.
You're dismissed. Get back to work.
Understood.
Let's go to Willem's downtime. Willem, are you going home? Are you wandering the streets, getting noodles? What would Willem do?
I think he'd probably go home and rest.
All right, let me roll a die here for home. 6. Did we already do 6? We already did. No, we didn't do 6. Okay. I did something different. Let me pull this up. You hear a knock on your door, and it's early. Sun hasn't even hardly come up, and you just had barely gotten into bed, and you hear this, knock on your door. What do you do?
Well, I'll see who it is first.
Do you have a video keyhole you can pull it up, or do you have to go and physically look through the glass?
I'd imagine I would have something like that.
You see, it's your previous partner, Remy Krumpak. He's a fellow Blade Runner. He's an old-timer like you, but you know he's as crooked as they comes. And he knows that you know that. And you know you've always kind of felt like you have to watch your back around this guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that, but I also know he might be of some use right now, so I'll open the door for him.
Hey, Novak. It's been a long time, my friend. It's good to see you.
Yeah, sure has. come on in and
Hey,
what is it you need at this hour?
stinks in here, my friend. You smell of the streets. You not
Ah,
sleeping
yeah.
nights?
Well, I've got a new case and it's kind of urgent. Can't afford to sleep.
No? You want to tell me about your case?
Well, not much I can say right now. Don't have too much information, but by the looks of it, looking for a, rogue replicant. I think they might malfunctioned. Could be dangerous, but I'm still looking into it.
Oh, well, if there's anything I can do for you, you just give me a call. Say I know we ain't talked a lot in the last little bit. Work being what it is, and you got your own mess of trouble, and I got mine. But I just want to give you a heads up. Them folks at the Wallace Corporation, you watch your back. All right, I owe you one for, that spot of trouble I was in a couple years back. You really pulled my bacon out of the fire, and well, consider it repaid. You watch your back with Wallace. You got it?
I got it. Is someone after me? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know for sure, but I think it's only a matter of time. Word from my contact is that they're not real happy with how things have gone down, and well, things could get ugly for you real fast. So whatever case you're working on, I suggest you wrap it up soon, and don't step on any toes. All right. Eventually, a tool's only as useful as it is while it's working. Once a tool stops working, well, time to throw it out and get a new tool, if you know what I mean. So, just watch your step with Wallace, all right?
Well, thanks for the advice. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, no problem. I owe you, my friend. Well, you have a good night, morning, whatever time you're on. I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and if anyone asks, we didn't have this conversation. You understand?
It's understood. Nice to not see you again, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice to not see you too, you smelly bastard. And he lets himself out as the door shuts. You hear him kind of chuckling as he walks down the hallway. You do anything or go back to sleep?
I think I'm going back to sleep.
Okay. Let's go to to Jack. So you are trying to find out who was following you. How are you going about this? You said you're maybe looking at some footage?
Yeah, I know the streets I was walking on. I know the cameras that are available along those streets.
Yep.
So I'll be looking at that. Additionally, I'm going to try to get the phone call traced back.
Ooh, excellent. Give me a tech roll. If you get a critical, you'll be able to get information on that trace. Otherwise, you'll just get information from the cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Not going to be easy. A D6 and a D8.
Let's do it.
Oh, you got it. Not a critical, but
Yeah.
you start going through the footage. It takes you hours to locate what you're looking for. There's so many dead ends. You find where you were when you first see that car get behind you, and then you start going backwards through the footage, finding where that car came from. It takes you a little bit of time. You see it's almost like it's running a grid searching for you. And then it's parked just across the street from your apartment for a time. And then you see yourself get out and get into your car. And soon that car follows you. You trace it back even more. And you set down your cigar. Son of a bitch. It's coming out of the Wallace Corporation.
Hmm. I phoned the chief.
Yeah, what do you want, Jack?
Did you tell him I was working this case?
I ain't told nobody nothing. Who you been
Uh-huh.
talking to?
Wallace Corporation's having me followed.
They're probably having me followed. You know they got more money than any of us put together. They kind of do what they want.
Yeah, but they shouldn't even know to follow me unless someone told them.
Well,
Probably saw me coming out of the office. Last damn time I'm going in there unless someone's dead.
who'd you talk to here? Besides me, I ain't said nothing.
It's not who I talked to, it's who saw me.
Well,
They got more money than anyone. I'm sure they hacked the same cameras I did.
you go
If
back
I can
here.
do it,
You go
looks
back
like
here
him.
and go to the crime lab. You see Coco?
Yeah, we chatted about the massive wound that um oh, it's one of the Clegane brothers.
Sandor, not the Mountain.
Sandor, yeah.
The other one, the Hound.
So just chat about the massive hole that Sandor is sporting, but yeah.
You seen Coco's cat? I think that's your rat right there. And then the camera kind of zooms in on Coco's cat laying on the floor, and it blinks, and its eye looks like a little shutter opening and closing. And that's where we will end the session.
I'll look at Emma's ferret accusingly.
Ooh. And the ferret looks up at you, and its little eyes are just like Big Brother that sees everything. In fact, you probably have a little tag on there that says Wallace Corporation. And that's where the first session will end. Awesome. So we got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shifts. We will start.
Yeah.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. So we will be on shift 2 of day 2 when we pick back up. I think one more session. I think we'll finish this. You guys have gotten most of the information there is to get. Just kind of from end of first session, there are going to be some rewards, some promotion points. Let's take care of that. So after each session of the game, you get promotion points for doing your job as Blade Runners. So you get 1 promotion point if during the session, if you found 1 or more clues that led to real progress, in the investigation, and you all did. If you revealed Styles to be a fugitive Nexus 8 replicant and reported him to the RDU, yeah. If you didn't apprehend anyone. That's a no, that's a no, that's a no.
Yeah, you apprehended parts of that one guy.
Right. There's another one for uploading important evidence to the LAPD mainframe. You did not save the life of another LAPD officer. Did you snitch on somebody for misconduct? No, and didn't take a baseline test. So 3 promotion points for everybody. And then you can, in a single session in which you earn 5 promotion points, you can get awarded a distinction. But that did not happen. You lose points if you abuse your authority, if you ignore or violate orders, if you fail to apprehend a wanted fugitive. That's close with Styles. If you harm or kill an innocent suspect or bystander, you already lost your point for that. But really, he wasn't innocent. So you just lost it you just took the fall. So I'm going to say 1 point lost for not apprehending Styles. You went out and didn't see him, but you didn't go pursue him. And he may be a key part of the investigation. So that's going to be a net 2 promotion points for everyone. And that, I think it's on your main page, maybe under your bio. If you don't find it, let me know.
Inventory.
Inventory, excellent. And then after each session, you can also get humanity points to each character for performing acts of compassion or humanity. So, give each player 1 point if during the session. So if you visited Leah's apartment and found her photo, that's 1 point. If you realize that Styles is a replicant but let him go, that's a humanity point.
I don't think we did either of those. I mean, I don't think we.
You didn't really.
We did.
So you
We
did
track
find
him
the.
down. We let him go.
Yeah, you did find the
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah,
Um, You didn't
So
really
is
let
that-
him go, but you didn't go after him. So that's a no.
Yeah, that would have been like if I'd seen that he was while I was talking to him, right?
Yeah.
And then said, "Oh, go on, get out of here." Then that would have been
Did
the case.
do we all get it if only one of us went to the apartment?
So it does say give each player 1 point if during the session if they did that. So I think that would count as a group that you all have access to that photo. So I would say that's a point. If you none of you refuse to follow orders. Any of you? So who interacted with their key relationship? That was Willem and just Willem.
Yeah.
So Willem will get an extra 1. If you did a scene of downtime, all of you did, so you'll all get 1 for that. And did any of you interact with your key memory? I think that Olsen did.
Oh, with the deputy chief, we talked
Yep,
about it.
Yep, absolutely.
Based on my key memory, I am avoiding
Right.
Android Row or whatever it's called.
Anemoid Row,
Row.
which you had
Anemoid
the,
Row.
yeah, so you had the opportunity to go. Like Bullet Bob's is on Anemoid Row, and you did not go. So that is interacting with your key. So it just says used their key memory or interacted with it in some way. And I think because your key memory is that you don't want to go there, I think refusing to go there counts.
I just never volunteered to take that particular tact,
Yeah.
even after finding that's where Leah went.
Right. So do you guys have your promotion points and humanity points updated?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Let's just kind of real quickly, after the first session, who do you guys think, what do you think's going on? What do you think what's your main lead? Where do you want to go from here? Like who killed Sandor and where's Leah? And who's responsible?
Olsen's definitely looking at Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you know that Leah is friends with Styles. Iris said so, and she's been seen talking to Styles in the at the Snake Pit. And you know that he is a Nexus 8 android, so he's kind of a criminal sort of person. Like he shouldn't exist. What about Willem? What do you think? Like, who are you suspicious of?
Yeah, that's my main line of thinking. I think it has something to do with Nexus 9 that's likely malfunctioned, and then the Nexus 8 that we have to probably get more information about both of them.
Yeah, so I know you want to go probably talk to the pawn shop guy that has the picture to maybe find out about the memory. You could also figure out like where these memories come from and maybe go like to the memory bank and find out like, hey, what's going on here? That's probably a good place to go investigate. What about Jack? What do you think of the Wallace Corporation? Do you think they're involved?
I don't understand why the Wallace Corporation is keeping tabs on me, other than the fact that they're okay. I understand why the Wallace Corporation is keeping tabs. On the one hand, I was seen coming out of the corner, and on the other hand, I'm sure they're very aware of the fact that I went to the Kill magazine.
Mm-hmm.
All the evidence that I have seen basically indicates that Leah failed her third
Baseline test.
baseline test. That whatever reprogramming or adjustments they said they made, they didn't test. And so I think that between the Nexus 8, I think her partner Sandor found out about the Nexus 8, and she felt trapped between two worlds, and so she decided to choose the replicant world.
Yeah, she had to make a choice, is what it sounds like. That she go after, if it was true, this Skylar guy, if he was the one that was causing the fight, she could have put a stop to him. Or it sounds like, or maybe it was Styles that was doing it, and then Sandor, maybe he was going to shoot her friend Styles, and she decided to end Sandor. It sounds like there's definitely something going on with Leah. The sooner you find out, the sooner you can close the case. And that's where we stop. So we'll pick this up next week. I think we will finish it in one more session. I had fun. This is actually a lot of fun. It's a fun scenario because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. And like the complications are going to start happening pretty rapidly now. Where like, have you done this? No. Okay, this happens. So yeah, it's gonna ramp up for sure. And there is a time limit. I think you'll be finished before the time limit is up. But we'll see. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. I'm gonna post the video. Any questions or concerns before we stop?
No, I'm looking forward to next week. I'm really liking this system, and liking, as someone who routinely splits the party.
It's perfect for splitting the party.
Yeah, I'm liking the scene based and everything. So I think I really like this system.
Yeah, it's like perfect for Blade Runner. Like it fits the system so well, or it fits the world so well for Blade Runner. And it doesn't get in the way. Like the mechanics don't get in the way of what you want to do, which is nice. And they're kind of simple enough that it's easy to do. Easy to figure out. So.
All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night for
Dragonbane. Excellent. We'll see you all.